as we know, our body itself has so much space, in between our cells, and in space as well. There is a lot of space. So, so what excites me about being in space is how to correlate the space within with the space when you're up out there. So can you talk about your experience along those lines, and maybe Sadhguru can chime in too.
No, it's for those who've been in space, not me.
Almost not enough space for my hair. I had good hair when I was up there. So space.
Your hairstyle became very famous.
It was nice. So definitely space hair. So I think the question is, what is space like, essentially? Well, how do you experience space when you're there? Kavi and I have talked about this before. I think, being on the space station or working at NASA or working on any space program, it's busy, right? You're just busy. How to be just right there was reminding me of that. It's just, you can wake up in the morning and you can just look at the timeline.
How do you know what's morning? 16 sunrises you have.
I know, we pretend. We set a clock at a certain time and we pretend that's morning, and then we take 24 hours from then. But you can get up every morning and you can just get going. You can look and you can occupy your time with all activities that you're going to do. I think one of the most important things for me was to sort of just remember where I was. Take advantage of that for a second every day. I would get up in the morning and brush my teeth because I wanted to brush my teeth first and foremost. Go brush my teeth.
The toothpaste go?
No, it was mouthwash after it became toothpaste, right? And then just to sit for a moment. And usually it would be in my crew quarters and just sort of be there present for a moment, knowing where I was, but knowing also then in my head where I was as I was getting ready to start the day. Not just like it was the day to just get going and do this, do that. It's like, where am I in my conscious effort to be present right now?
There was no Sabbath, no Sunday holiday, nothing.
That we have Sundays, so people can sleep in. So that is one good thing. But every other day, every work day is filled, and so taking a moment to do that is a great way to just start the day, to put everything in perspective of what you're doing, and it really sort of, I think, to me, not necessarily minimize those tasks, but put those tasks in perspective of what's really important, and thinking about also having a moment away from all the other people was also a small blessing, just to be by yourself in that moment and to just organize. So I think that is how I managed my inner space. Now the space in the spacecraft, right? We each have a sleep station, so you have your own space that you can be able to do this with. And then we have different laboratories, and usually in every different laboratory somebody would be working. And I think being able to take that time that I mentioned in the beginning allowed me every morning after I had that little time to get up and see these other people in the space station and genuinely say good morning. It wasn't like just like good morning like words, you just say good morning as you walk away and you don't really think about it, it's just some reaction. It was like genuinely, good morning, I hope you have a great day. I didn't say that part, but that's what I felt in my heart, like, good morning, I'm gonna have a good day, you're gonna have a good day. And I think that's a way to manage a smaller space. Even though it's, like I mentioned, it's a big space because it's a bunch of laboratories, but it's a smaller space that you have to maintain in. Does that make sense? So wait, what?
How do you experience
the space. So space is, again, I think there's a parallel to what I was just talking about. Spacewalks are very busy also, and so
we put them to work.
Yeah, you do put us to work, and so that is the first and foremost thing on your mind is I don't want to mess up because that's going to cause things to get delayed, and I'm going to have to do this. I just want to make sure I can do all my activities, right? So your brain is thinking about that. I just want to make sure I get do everything I'm supposed to do. Now, I'm not going to say every time I went outside, for a moment it was like, whoa, where am I? What am
You're
I
not
doing?
on a string, right? You're,
We are tethered, but you definitely, you can do that, you do that yourself. So I remember on my first spacewalk, I went outside in the dark, and so went outside the hatch, my helmet lights are on, and I go out and I go to my work site, and I'm doing whatever I'm supposed to be doing, and then the sun came up, and I saw the earth like flying below me, and I grabbed on real fast. It was just a natural reaction, because like, where am I going to go? You know, like, oh, and then I was like, remembered, okay, I've already tethered, I've already been out here for half an hour, I've been working, why am I so scared all of a sudden? But it's just it's an instant moment where your perspective changes. And then you get back into work once again, and you're working away. I think on one of my spacewalks on my second flight, we had some time where we were waiting.
did the moon come and knock your head in?
No, we hid. But on that second flight, we had a moment where we were waiting because people were trying to fix what we were doing or trying to figure out what the problem was. And me and this Japanese astronaut, Aki Hoshidi, were discussing about where we were over the planet. And we're having this back and forth, and I reflect on that because what a change it is when your experience base tells you everything that's happening is okay, where you can then have a conversation or even just like a little argument about like, I think that's a Strait of Gibraltar. No, I think it's this over here. I think that's that country. Da, da, da. Or back and forth a little bit, but like how your perspective can change that much. To this last flight, when we were out doing our tasks, which Nick and I were out, and then Butch and I were out. And Butch and I were doing a task which was very hand intensive. Again, out there doing the task, and I was taking off little nuts and bolts, like real small, and you're wearing essentially like snow gloves while you're trying to do this. And I'm thinking, and they asked us to do this for 5 bolts, and I'm thinking to myself, this is impossible. This is an impossible task.
But if you drop them, they're not going anywhere.
They're going to float away. They'll float
gonna
away.
go away?
And they're very worried about that because it could go and become a micrometeorite or damage part of the robotic arm and things like that. But I was just like, I'm just going to do it. Like, be in it right now. I'm not going to argue with them. I can't believe they asked us to do this. I'm just going to do it.
Sorry. Sorry we did it. I said sorry we did it.
Your fault. And we did it. And actually we got, magically enough, we got all those pieces and parts and were able to put them in our trash bag. But it was just an interesting perspective of, this is an impossible task. They're asking us to do this. We're out here in space, and they're asking us to grab nuts and bolts. This is a crazy thing. How are you going to do this? And you can. And what it convinced me of is, you're not comfortable in a situation. You can get comfortable in a situation. You have that experience. You don't think you can do something. You can do it.